Hello and welcome back to the channel. I am a 2000 Rabbit chess player, and I'm going to play a Rabbit game and explain my thought process during the game. Hopefully, you're going to find it very helpful and educational, especially for the people who are beginners and intermediates. And you're going to find a lot of similarities if you're an advanced player like me in the 2000s. We're playing someone 2100. We're going to play the Caro-Kann defense. Here they can play whatever they want, d4, c4, knight c3, knight f3. We don't really care. We're going to play d5 right after. So the most important thing in the Caro-Kann defense is just try to get some kind of a structure. Here's d5. If he played knight d2, it's very similar to a game that I played yesterday, and I actually lost it because of the opening phase. So if he played knight d2, okay. So here, whenever we take this pawn, and they take with the knight, we can just have the classical variation. Bishop getting out, knight goes back, and bishop here. And it's a really long series of moves. It's going to be a really long theory. But after pawn takes, they take with the pawn. It's a very sneaky idea. Now, in the game, I played e5. That was the best move. And my opponent played bishop to c4 in that game. My opponent here played knight to f3. If I played bishop to d6, it's going to be bad because of knight here, attacking this twice and attacking this pawn. So here, I have to play knight to d7 to defend my pawn, and then I can play queen c7 and continue the game. He can play this move, bishop to c4 if he wants, but if he played knight to c4, we play queen to c2 to defend this pawn twice. Okay, bishop to e2, I've never seen this before, but I was actually hoping for bishop to c4, but here I guess we'll just play knight to f6 or queen to c7. So I'm out of theory because I was prepared for bishop to c4, knight to c4, and some kind of bishop getting out in castles. But this move seems harmless, so I don't know. We have queen c7 and we have knight to f6. I think knight to f6 is better because whenever the knight moves, going to lose this pawn. Queen c7, make sure we are defending this, but I guess I'm going to play knight to f6. Then later on, we can play queen c7, bishop d6, castle kingside, and then we put the rook on e8 in just a very normal position. So I'm really glad that I did not fall for the trap, and I'm really glad that I actually studied the opening because I made a mistake in the opening phase in the previous game. Someone played the exact same opening against me, but he played bishop to c4, and then I decided to get my bishop out, and then it went into a really, really bad situation in which I lost. Yes. You can check the game if you want. You can just check my account right here. It's going to be in the first game. It's going to pop up if you looked in the Rabbit games. Okay. My opponent disconnected. I'm really hoping that he plays, even though I want some rating points, but I don't want to take it just like this. It's from Iraq, right? Yeah. 2100 I think is really strong. 100 rating points higher than me. That's really good. If you play, for example, knight to c4, attacking this pawn twice, queen c7 will be there, and he cannot target this pawn more. So after knight to c4, queen to c7, some kind of a b3 to get the bishop right there to attack. I think I've seen that before, and we have to attack the knight before he actually targets this pawn. We play some kind of a b5, we put the bishop on b7, bishop e7 in castle kingside, and then it's a majority like queenside attack. Okay, he went back online. Now either he's going to castle or some kind of a knight here, b3, bishop out to try to target this pawn. But I think, after this move, I can play queen c7 if I want to. c3. What is the point of c3? And also, if you really want to improve a chess, completely for free, ask why. Okay? When your opponent makes a move, why did he play this move? And when you play a move, why do you want to play it? Only why got me from 900 to 2000. So it's a really good question. You should have a really good reason to make a move, not just a silly reason. So for example, we have to know why he played the move c3. I don't think he's trying to expand with a move like b4, because why would he? Is he just trying to stop my pawn from going there, from my knight from going there? Or maybe after knight to c5, he cannot defend this pawn, so he wants to play queen to c7 in order to defend it, right? Because if I play this move and he played bishop there, I can maybe take it and he doesn't want to lose the bishop. So maybe that's one of the reasons he wants to play queen c2 and defend this pawn twice if I played knight to c5. But I don't think in the opening phase I'm going to try to go for attack. Always think about developing your pieces first, and then you can think about attacking your opponent. So I'm thinking about bishop to e7 because at certain times the knight's going to move and get the bishop right there to pin me. So bishop to e7 is fine. Queen c7 is also fine. Which one I'm going to play? I think I'm going to play queen c7 first. Then we can get out with the bishop to c5 if I want to. Really good attacking ideas. And a really good move queen c7 is because maybe we can put a rook on d8 to try to pin this knight to the queen. Right now there are no attacks. We're going to play bishop to e7, castle first, and then we're going to try to activate the bishop and the rook. But we are in a completely safe situation, no problems whatsoever. Okay, the queen did actually go to c2. So see, I managed to know what my opponent is thinking because I asked why. If you really want to improve at chess, ask why. And whenever you know the reason your opponent made a move, only then you can actually know what is the move that he's going to play before he even plays it. So I knew he's going to play queen c2 before he even played it because of the move c3. All right, so now I'm contemplating if I'm going to play bishop to e7 or bishop to c5. Bishop to c5, I don't like the idea of getting attacked with these pawns. Even though I can play a6 and then the bishop is going to be really strong on this diagonal. I think bishop to c5 is much better because this pawn can be protected by the rook in the end. It's already protected twice, so no biggie. Let's play bishop to c7, sorry, bishop to c5. If you play this move b4, bishop to b6, some kind of an a4 move, we can play a simple a6 or maybe a5. Whenever he takes, I can take back. It's totally fine with the bishop. So even when you're trying to develop your pieces, you should think about how can I develop them in a way that attacks something, that weakens something. So maybe knight to g4 would be a really good move, but I think it's going to castle right after. So maybe just castle right here, put the rook on e8, play some kind of a b5, and then try to go for a queenside attack. Because my opponent, maybe he's going to try to go for some kind of a kingside attack with these pawns, I guess. And if he castled, then we will be safe, and then we just have to play chess. He can also play this move knight to b3, attacking my bishop. Should I allow him to take my bishop, and after I take back, this pawn is going to be targeted twice. He cannot play this because I can take it, but then he can take back. I mean, if he played knight here, I can just play bishop to b6, some kind of a pawn push, a3 or a5, sorry, a6 or a5. The bishop can stay there on a7, and if he wants to trade the bishops, he's going to have a damaged pawn structure in the center of the board. So that's good. Whenever you can damage your opponent's pawn structure, especially in the center, like he's going to have double pawns here or double pawns here, it's really good because they're really easy to capture in the endgame. So what will he play? And also, whenever you want to think about a move, think about candidate moves. Okay, so don't always think about only one move. So you've seen earlier that I decided to play queen c7 maybe, bishop here, maybe try to castle right after. I have candidate moves, not only one move. I don't play based on gut feeling or based on, I don't know what we call it. It's just, like, I don't want it to be a one mover. Okay, one mover thinks about a move and you know what, let's just play it. Don't be that person. Have candidate moves, more than one move. Maybe here we can actually expand with a5, put the bishop behind in queen b6 to try to target this. That would be good. And if he castled, maybe that's going to be a target. See? So we have a5, we have castles. What else? What else? Maybe potentially just, I think that's a better move. I mean, a5 looks really good. We're stopping this pawn from pushing, and that's number one. Number two, we're going to try to put the bishop behind, and then create a battery, and then get in with the knight. So now the first thing, I want a safe king. Number two, I want a free diagonal for the bishop that cannot be attacked anymore. And then potential attacking ideas with the queen to b6 and knight to g4. Now we need to find a specific way to get the bishop out. Maybe bishop to e6 would be really good because there will be no knight or bishop or queen on these two squares. So bishop to e6, because in these kind of variations, the bishop is, this bishop, the light square bishop, is really bad most of the time, because if you want to put it here, you're just going to trade it for another knight. So it's better to put it right there and then restrict the enemy pieces from going there. So maybe we have a specific square for the bishop. But we want a safe king, we want an a5, we want a bishop out, we want a bishop e6, and we want a rook on d8. See how I'm thinking? I'm not thinking about attacking my opponent because there's nothing to be attacking. I cannot attack anything right now. Maybe I could have played this knight to c5 move, attack this pawn twice, maybe try to make a way to try to win it, like pushing these pawns and putting a bishop there and trying to... Look, this is a very important phase in the game. You have to get your pieces out before you think about attacking your opponent. So get your king safe, activate all of your pieces, and then think about attacking. But then you cannot blunder. Even if you did blunder, you can have enough compensation to continue the game. I don't know why my opponent is not playing. Maybe he's thinking too much. I have no idea. What is his account? 2020. I mean, definitely not a cheater. I mean, 2020, like 5 years. So, yeah. I mean, the best move for my opponent, I guess, is to play either knight to b3, because developing a piece, attacking my piece, I have to draw back, and then he can develop one of his pieces, castle queen side even, or castle king side, it doesn't matter. But right now we're still in the developing phase, but he's not playing. I'm not really sure why, but I'm really happy about that. I mean, also think about time, your opponent time, as a piece that you can use, okay? I recently played an over-the-board tournament, and my opponent, like, his hand started shaking when he's playing. He's a really good opponent. He was really strong, and he was up a pawn against me. But you can use your time as an advantage against your opponent. Play faster. Think when he is thinking. That's going to be the best thing you can do. You can use his time to think, and your time you can just move, and you can add more pressure to your opponent. I did this in one of the games, and my opponent went completely insane. Okay, so now the moves. I think a5, because I mean, when we think about castling the king, we want him to be safe. But right now there are no attacks whatsoever, and there is no way for him to stop me from castling, right? Unless he had some kind of bishop right there to stop me from castling, but he doesn't have that. I don't want him to have this move, so maybe I want to play a5 first, and then I want to have the bishop right there. Maybe we can target it in this specific way. And after this a5, not attack me there, I can move the bishop to b6, and there are no attacks against me. So I think I want to play this move a5 first. Remember, add pressure to your opponent. Think when he's thinking. So maybe if he wants to play knight to b3, we can play bishop to b7, sorry, bishop to b6. We're completely safe. If he wants to put the bishop there, remember, damaged pawn structure in the center is really bad. So if he wants to go for that, he can. Then think about getting your king castled. I'm thinking about this move b5, because if I want to play bishop to b6, then this bishop is going to be garbage forever, unless I wanted to put it there, but it could be attacked. I really hate this move because whenever they take, remember, damaged pawn structure in the center is bad for me. He did play this move. See, we know what he's thinking. That's the best thing you can do. Now, I'm thinking about bishop to a7. This is still defended because I want to storm with b5, because it's going to be a queen side attack while castling king side. Because if I play bishop to b6, I cannot push those pawns, so this bishop cannot develop, meaning this rook cannot get involved. That's bad. So bishop to a7, I guess it's totally fine. And I'm not a coach or anything. I'm just a random chess player explaining my thought process, hoping that it can be helpful for you if you're a beginner or intermediate. Especially if you're an advanced chess player. I mean, okay, he wants to get the bishop right there. Is it a problem? Why? Maybe he wants to take, but I can just take back. This is still defended, so I'm not finding anything wrong with that. I'm just going to castle. Remember, add more pressure to his time. And here, maybe we can respond with b5 and a4, put the bishop on the light square, try to target this pawn on e4 by pushing this pawn again, and then again, because we want this bishop to be strong. Okay, knight going there. I'm not really sure what he wants. But let's see why. Maybe he's trying to go right here, try to attack this pawn more. But I think I have this move b5. After b5, what can he do? He can try to go for this move. If I push takes, still fine. I think I have to go for this b5 push. The reason I want to eliminate his opportunity to play, knight there or bishop there, maybe to pin me or something. Okay, putting the rook right there, lining up the rook. I want to play bishop to b7 and rook to c8. The bishops are going to look very, very good on this side. Also, the bishop can be good on this diagonal as well, like bishop to e6. But if I move this knight, this is going to be a problem. I don't want double pawns, especially in front of my king. So h6, the bishop is going to go back, that's for sure. I'm going to play g5, the bishop is going to go back again. I attack his knight, but the knight is not stuck. The knight can just go back. So I don't like moving this knight. Okay, so what can I do? Bishop to b7 does not look like a blunder. If he wants to take, I can take back. This is still defended, so potentially rook to c8. But let's play bishop to b7. Don't give him time. I always, get low on time whenever I start explaining my thoughts. But I think making the video educational and actually speaking my thoughts out loud helped me even, focus even more. Because whenever I play games, without actually recording them, I don't really think that deep, actually. And I don't think that effective. So I think it's much better for me like this. So now there are no current problems. The rooks are going to be, of course, on the D and E file, defending this pawn and controlling the semi-open file whenever the knights move. So yeah, I think this is a good position for me. Rook d8 and rook e8. If he wants to take, I can take back. This pawn is going to be defended. The bishop is looking really, really good. He cannot remove it. That's why it's a really good bishop. Like if he wants to move the rook, this pawn is going to be very weak. The queen there is going to be a problem because if bishop there, I have to move and I'm going to lose the bishop. That's why we don't play it just yet. Only if the bishop, vanish from there. Okay, pushing this pawn, playing c4. It's a very smart move. Okay, so what can we do right now? The thing that I want to do, I want to push and I want to push again. I want to control more squares and I want to have this really good bishop. But it's going to be coming at the expense of my bishop being bad. Because if I want to take, I'm helping him develop. I don't want to take. And definitely I don't want him to take, because after takes, I will lose my queen and my pawn. So if I played b4, he cannot push. That's a free pawn. Unless push here, bishop takes, and some kind of a bishop takes here, knight takes, and queen takes there. I lost. Bad. So push here. Maybe we can play h6. If he wants to take, I can take back. It's still fine. Okay, I think this is a better move. Always, if you have a chance to take, don't take if it's going to help your opponent. It's going to help him, get, development. He's going to develop his knight, his bishop. It's going to open up for his rook. That's definitely bad. Okay, now he wants to open up some lines. Makes a lot of sense. I have c5. If he wants to take, I take towards the center. So now I don't think he can do anything. I can put the bishop right there or move the bishop right here to defend this pawn. And if he wants to trade the rooks, he can. So I think this move is much better. If he wants to take, I can take back. He can target this pawn. That's why we need some defense. We cannot trade every single piece because I don't want to use my queen or the rook to defend this dumb pawn. Maybe I want to use the bishop to defend, but definitely not a high value piece like the queen or the rook. If he wants to take, I have the opportunity to take like this. Okay, so he decided to take. If I take with the c pawn, my bishop gets really good development. That's good. But should I do it? I mean, I think I can, though. So pawn takes right there. He cannot push. I can put the bishop right there, but he's going to definitely attack it. After I take, he's going to take back. And the bishop's going to be a problem in my ass. So if I take like this, he cannot push. I want to put something right here to stand in front of the pawn. He cannot develop any of his pieces. I think taking like this is fine because opening up for my bishop. But if I take like this bishop is bad, and I'm not really sure how am I going to get it working and be effective? So pawn takes. I know we're supposed to take towards the center, but I think in this kind of position, taking like this, opening up on my bishop, is going to be very good. Okay, he decides to play this move. I really want to play h6, boot the bishop away, g5, kick the bishop even more, and then some kind of a bishop here, and I have a full control over the board. And I'm the one who controls the pawn break, so I think I'm really happy right here. But I want to put a knight or bishop. Bishop there. Is it fine, though? Bishop to c5. He cannot target my bishop. That's the thing. He's really not happy right now. I don't think so. And my bishop are actually opening. I mean, I love this position. But I think I'm going to play this bishop to c5. Maybe I want to use it for the knight. Okay, what about h6? Bishop goes back, g5, bishop goes right back here. And then I can go, for example, knight to c5 to target this even more. But why should I? I mean, just bishop there, stop the pawn from pushing. Let's go bishop here. Okay. We're giving him time to think. That's not a good thing, but it's fine. And if he wants to go for this, I'm really happy about it. I mean, I'm happy to trade and have really bad pawn structure from my opponent, getting the knight to c5 to target this twice and to affect this pawn. My bishop is really good. I'm having a blast. I want to play next what I want to play. I want to play bishop to c6 and queen to b7 to add more pressure to this pawn. But I have to be very careful because taking this pawn is going to open up for his queen, for his bishop. So yes, we're going to win a pawn, but we should have some kind of a defense for this pawn here. What is this move? Maybe he's thinking that after this, he can go back and keep this bishop, locked in. Maybe not. I have no idea. I think my bishop here is going to be very, very dope. Bishop to go back, I can just take it. I think I have to play this move. First of all, we're adding more defenders to this knight, and we're controlling this square because if we want to push, we can. And remember, pawn push takes, bishop takes, the queen will be attacked, the rook will be attacked. But pawn push, pawn takes, bishop takes, the knight can cover. So only if the knight move, then we can go for this attack, and we can have a passer, outside pass pawn. This is really good. So bishop right there is okay. Okay, now I'm seeing his idea. He wants to move the bishop because he wants to go here, and whenever I take, he doesn't want to have double pawns. He wants to take with the rook. That's a good plan, right? But what if I forced him not to make this move? What if I played h6 right now? Force him to go here and damage the pawn structure. And if he takes, I take back, and I'm really happy. So play h6. Remember, what your opponent wants, don't ever give it to him. He wants to move the bishop away, put the bishop back, force me to take and take back with the rook and not damage his pawn structure. I want to do exactly the opposite. So I attack and I don't give him time to move the bishop. He moves right there. Now he's never going to have the chance to go here. I'm happy. Good. Now what do? We can play this move, which we thought about. Queen to b7, adding more pressure to this pawn, but I don't think we're going to win it because of the bishop moving away, the rook defending, everything's going to be defending there. So that's fine for my opponent. I'm thinking about rook to d8. Some kind of a knight jumping like this. Maybe g5, the bishop has to go back. Some kind of attack against him, he has to move there, but this, ooh, it's actually good. I'm thinking about queen a7, g5, pawn push, knight here, attack the bishop goes back, and bishop takes, we win the rook. That's a good plan, right? I mean, he has nothing. He literally has nothing. All we have to do make sure we're not losing this pawn. But we might actually, because after queen to a7, there is bishop takes, knight takes, and I lose this pawn. That's bad. That is bad. So maybe we play rook to e8 first to defend this. Probably not. Let's play rook e8. Because if I played queen here right away, he could have taken here and after I take back because I don't want my pawn to be damaged. And if I take with the knight, I'm going to lose this pawn and my bishop's going to be attacked and he has a lot of development. Okay, bishop goes there. Is that a problem? Absolutely not. But we have to play something good, something forcing. I want to play knight to h5. The bishop has to move away because that's a free bishop. The pawn cannot take its pinned. So after knight to h5, is there some kind of a sacrifice? Actually, there is. But I take right there. He takes me right there or there. But I can take him with a check first, and then I can take back. Okay, so knight to h5. The bishop has to go back, and then I can play queen to a7, but the rook can go back and protect. So should I play queen a7? I think I'm going to play queen to a7. I should not be giving him much time to think. Maybe then we can go for this expansion idea, because if he takes, bishop takes, knight goes there. It's actually a good move. Okay, wait. Push, he takes, and I sack the knight. Because whenever he takes, I go here with the bishop, the queen has to move, and then I can win the rook. But I gave him 2 pieces for 2 pawns and a rook. 6 points or 7 points. I mean, we're up a pawn at the end, and we're going to have some kind of ambassador on this side. So maybe that's a good plan. Maybe it's not. I'm not sure. The reason I did not go for queen to b7 attacking this pawn, because this pawn is like defended by everything, by the bishop, by the queen, by the rook. Everything's defending this pawn. So it's really, really bad to attack something that's really defended. This pawn is not that defended, because I'm going to play knight h5, boot the bishop away. And if the bishop went back, bishop takes, rook moves, king moves, whatever, I take this rook, and it's completely cooked, because we just push and we win the game, and we're up material. So he has to deal right now with knight to h5 in some magical way by moving. I don't think moving the king, because I'm definitely going to take this. And if he played rook here, okay, what is the point of this move? What the frick? Why? Maybe he's thinking about stopping this pawn from pushing. Well, it's not that. I want to play knight to h5. We have to make sure he has nothing, like some kind of a knight sacrifice. Does he have it? Knight to h5, knight sacrifice, knight takes. Some kind of a knight takes or knight takes here. Ooh, knight to h5, knight takes pawn, knight takes here, knight takes c6, attacking my queen. I take him with a check, rook takes, and some kind of a queen c7 to defend the pawn. The knight has to go back. The knight does not seem defendable. So I think knight to h5, this move is bad. Knight to h5, the bishop moves, that's a winning rook, and I think we're winning. This is defended twice, so no problems. I think we have this move. We're going to play it knight to h5. Boot the bishop away, and if he wants to give me, that's a free bishop actually. He cannot take, it's pinned. So he can either move the king, I take, he takes with the pawn, that's completely shitty. But maybe that's good, because opening up for the rook, see, and the queen getting in for like in a magical way. I'm really hoping that I'm making sense by explaining my thoughts, and I really love speaking my thoughts out loud, because it helps me think even deeper. Because whenever I play a game offline, off recording, I just don't pay much attention. But here I'm trying to make it as educational and as helpful as possible, while strengthening my calculation. So if you're finding this video helpful, consider subscribing. More videos are going to come in the near future. Sorry about my English. Sometimes I just mispronounce some words. Okay. So we're going to take this bishop if he did not make any move. If he played rook here, that's still a free bishop. If the bishop went back, bishop takes, king move, whatever, I don't care. We take right there, and that's winning. 100% winning. And then we can jump the knight in, play this f6 move to defend this pawn, and then we can jump the knight in, push this pawn. We're completely cooking this guy. So I'm really actually interested in seeing what he played. Okay, he decided to play that move. All right. So here we have 2 moves. Knight takes g3. If he takes with the king, that's super dumb, because bishop takes. We're gonna win the rook with a pawn. That's really bad. But knight takes, is he really thinking about taking with the king? That is extremely... Hold on. No, takes is gonna take with the pawn. Then after bishop here, the rook is gonna move somewhere, and I cannot do anything else. Well, maybe I can do something. I can take this pawn. Hold up. Bishop takes and queen takes, and if he attacks me in any kind of way, I do have a check. The king moves back. I got the knight in, attack the bishop, and do some stuff right there. Maybe some kind of a rook lift to get the rook in. That's smart. But I'm thinking there's some kind of a sacrifice for my opponent. Because if bishop takes, knight takes e5. But that's bad, right? Because of check. That's really bad. And then I can win this. So hold on. Bishop takes. There is no some kind of a sacrifice to win this knight because we have a check first. The king has to move, and then I can save the knight. Okay, what about bishop takes, queen takes f2. What can he do? He can go for this take, but it still does not work because of a check, and I can take, and I'm defending. I think this move just wins us a pawn, but the dangerous thing about it that the bishop and the rook are going to be lining up together. So takes and pawn takes, I'm just opening up the file for free, but bishop takes, I'm opening up the file for a pawn. I think that's much better. He has nothing on this side, nothing. He has no moves. So I think I'm going to go for this. Bishop takes. You should think about all the possible options, not just one single move. Yeah, I think, and remember, whenever you take and your queen gets in some kind of a magical way to your opponent's territory, think about a way for your opponent to trap it. So hold on. Bishop takes, queen takes, some kind of a knight sack. We don't go knight takes because the bishop is going to take. So I think we're winning this. My queen is not going to get trapped in any kind of way. I'm giving him too much time, but it's fine. Always think, don't worry about time. Don't worry about it. You can train yourself to play faster, but you have to play accurate. Okay, he takes. That's really good. I'm going to take back. I'm going to line up some attacks. We have a really good move, like knight to f4, attack the bishop. The bishop has to go back. What do? We can sack this because he cannot take with the pawn. He's going to lose the knight. Who knows? He's not going to lose the knight. But anyways, right now we play knight to c5. We get too much control over the board. I mean, we're attacking everything at the same time. But the best thing that we can do is to perhaps give a check, force the king back somewhere, get the knight in, and go for some kind of a sacrifice on this side. So after this check, king should not go there because of this move. I'm going to win the bishop, and when the bishop goes back, knight takes h3. He cannot take, it's pinned. Okay, knight goes there. So he's trying to stop me from this check. Makes a lot of sense. I should be worried about this, but I think I can take back with the rook to defend my knight if he wanted to sacrifice. So where my queen actually belongs to. I do have a really dubious move. I don't think it's gonna maybe work, maybe not. It is knight to f4. The thing checkmate in one. I know it seems really easy, but I think there's some kind of a way to trap me. The pawn cannot move. The bishop cannot defend the checkmate. But how about knight to f4? The bishop moves somewhere else, defend the queen, and stop the checkmate. Yeah, that's pretty much annoying. Super annoying. So knight to f5. The bishop goes there or there. I don't have a checkmate because the queen is actually defending. That's completely insane. So how about just we go back? If he wants to take, I can take back like this. Everything's fine. Just play chess. I mean, knight to c5 is going to be next. We're going to add in more pressure. We're going to push this pawn. Knight's going to jump in here. We're going to attack, maybe rook lift. I mean, we're having a blast. All we have to do is just squeeze my opponent's time. And please tell me in the comments if the audio, the camera, everything's working fine, because I'm still trying to make it look better. So yeah. And please tell me about my explanation. Is it too much simplification or what? Okay, knight moving here, definitely some kind of an attack against my knight. I have to move my knight. I can play this move to attack the bishop. The bishop goes there to attack my knight. I don't think that's actually good. Can he boot the knight away? Yes, he can, and I don't want to go back. Maybe. Knight, knight, knight. Ooh la la. Look at this. That's beautiful. Knight going on d4 is great piece. Great piece. So here, he wants to jump the knight in. I don't really care. He wants to go there, maybe, maybe not. Let's jump the knight and let's try to take the bishop. Because whenever you're up a pawn, simplification is the best thing. But simplify with the right material. Like the bishop, I think it's a good defensive, piece, because it's really close to the king and it's defending most of the light square. So maybe if I take it, it's going to be even more painful for him to defend, especially with these two pawns on light square. So one push and the entire system cracks down because of this bishop is not there to defend, like bishop here, for example. So maybe if you take the bishop, that's going to be good. But if the bishop to g4 is going to attack my knight, I don't think I'm going to care about the knight. Okay, he doesn't even care about his bishop. Fine. I mean, that's completely up to him. Okay, so he wants to jump the knight in, for example. Maybe, maybe not. I'm not sure. I want to go here with the knight. I want to go there, but this knight jumping in here could be a pain in the ass. I don't like this knight being here. Rook to e6 does not seem like a horrific move, but knight will be there, bishop will be there. So how about I take first, he takes back with whatever piece, and then I can go here. And it's much better. Okay, now we take the bishop. We're not blundering anything, right? Be careful. He might take with the queen and try to get in. Remember, think about what your opponent wants. If he takes with the rook, he's a complete idiot. He wants to take with the queen. And if I were him, I'm gonna take with the queen, because queen getting in here, I'm gonna queen takes, rook to e6. Nice. So after this move, he wants to get in. We just have a very simple way to attack him and tell him to fuck off. He has nothing. And also I can play like knight here. I mean, I can play knight right there to f6. I'm stopping the queen from getting in. And I'm attacking this pawn. I think that's a really good move. But we have to be very, very careful. Knight sack and takes. I'm going to lose the knight if it's ever targeted. But I think I'm going to play it. I should play much faster. After this move, I think it's really bad. You should not be playing this move. I'm going to play rook to e6. And now we're going to win this pawn. We're going to try to target this pawn in some magical way. This knight is a problem, so potentially bishop there to try to target it. But the bishop is really, really important to win this game. Okay, he's trying to defend. Makes a lot of sense. Maybe we want to go somewhere. Okay. Now it's getting serious. It's getting super serious. How about queen c7? Try to target with even more pieces. How about just a simple rook there, or maybe rook there? I need to get one of the rooks to open files and stop this attack. Now maybe he's going to try to get the queen there or rook there to sacrifice the knight. He's not trying. Okay, he's trying to trade rooks with me. I'm not sure if he's smart or that's an idiotic move. Okay, let's take. If he takes with the queen, maybe I can get in with the queen there. If he takes with the rook, I'm not sure. Okay, I gave him too much time, and I oversimplified, I guess. So what is it that I should be doing? a4 takes, and I push. He's going to try to stop it, and is going to cry. I think we have to go for it. I think we have to attack him. This move is going to really confuse my opponent. But I have to be very careful. Okay, I have bishop here. There will be queen there. Sorry, rook there. I have to be very careful. This move is really bad. Maybe some kind of a push is going to maybe stop him from going very, very defensive, because this move is going to be a pain in his ass. And bishop takes is going to be fine to defend some kind of a pawn. Rook there is going to be fine. Rook here to even defend the pawn even more. But I have to be very careful. Very careful. Okay, me c queen, me attack queen. I mean, well, what is the purpose of this move? What is the purpose of that move? Can I take? Can I take? What's going to happen if I take? Let's take. Rook jumping in here. Some kind of a knight sack, and then whenever I take, it's going to take this knight and it's going to get in. Maybe, maybe not. I'm not sure. But I should play queen to a2, and if we traded, I think we have the rook to go back to defend, and this is targeted even a lot. Okay, I think I have this move. Attack the rook, attack the queen.